Well, hello there everyone, and welcome to yet another episode here on the Shamblecraft server. And you join me here on this lovely little bridge that you may have seen in NJ's episode. A cute little bridge here that takes us from one side of the river to the other. And in the background, you see the community base that we have been working on. And it's nice of me to begin this episode with the community base in the background, because this is probably the last you're going to be seeing of it for this episode, other than me running through it, because this episode is going to be all about improving our stuff down there in the fog. But before we head down there to do some things, you might remember, viewers, that in the last episode we showcased the post office, which wasn't finished at the time. And, well, let's just say things move quickly here on the Shamblecraft server. And since last time, there's been some progress. And with the magic of cheeky editing, we find ourselves in front of the post office. As you can probably tell, if you go back and watch the introduction of my previous episode, you will see that this place has really changed. And based on the amount of signs, I would almost say that Vin's been here, but none of these are birch. So what we're going to do, we're going to head through here. Community notices version 3, alright. And this here is the main room. And I mean, let's be very, very honest here. This is looking amazing. So whoever has been doing this, I might be mistaken here, but I think Johnny, Newt and Rose especially have been working a lot here. So this is pretty cool. So thank you very, very much to whoever has been doing this. This is amazing looking. And yeah, I'm getting... Alright, apparently Johnny did the redstone and Rose did the building. So thank you very much, Johnny and Rose. This is looking amazing. And we are here because we need to claim a box. And I have brought a birch sign for the occasion. And, I mean, I'm not going to be on top of Jess and Badger because that's just going to be a source of dirty jokes. I think I'm going to take this one. And we're going to do... We need to do something cheeky here. So if we do that... And Phali is probably good enough. There we go. Phali. I feel like I need something more. CEO. There we go. Perfect. Right, we don't have any dies. So we're going to have to just come back here and put some colour to that later. But now we have a mailbox, and with that taken care of, it's now possible for people to deliver mail to us. And yeah, that's going to be quite handy. While we're at spawn, why don't we just take a quick walk around and see what has happened? I mean, we of course remember the massive Phali head, which now of course has the mandatory high sign on it. We remember the Pathfinders Guild that I'm definitely going to be visiting at some point to showcase. We got TR opening Tridents. I can't wait to see how this looks when it's finished. And yeah, a bunch of other cool, a lot of other very cool builds here. We of course have the enchanting hut that we built a couple of episodes ago, and we have this entire the 4 suites of cards. We got spades, clubs, hearts, and diamonds in the different down the different stairs here. But what I want people to do, instead of me just taking a lot of time to showcase all of this, I suggest that if you're on the Shamblecraft server, you head over to spawn and have a look, because this is starting to look really amazing. And it's hard to think that it's been less than 3 weeks since we launched the server when you look at all the stuff that has been built at Spawn. So Spawn is looking amazing, and I definitely think Spawn is one of those places that we might have to come back to now and then just to showcase all the growth. But yeah, this is looking very amazing. So, I mean, it's hard to think that there is where we spawned. That's where we spawned 5 episodes ago. It doesn't look like that anymore. But yeah, we have claimed a post box, so people can now deliver mail to me if they want to. Please, no spam email. I hate spam email. Or spam mail, for that matter. Anyway, why don't we head back to our base, and we can talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing in this episode. Well, okay then, you join me here in the Lush Cave that you might remember from last episode, and this is actually where we are going to be spending most of this episode, because as you might remember from last time, we have finished our entryway from up there, and now we need to start working on this area. So this area here is going to sort of function as a sort of, dare I say, living quarters. This is where we're going to keep the beds, some basic storage to begin with. We might have some crafting stations. We might put an enchanting station, and this is going to connect to the rest of the place in several ways. So, as some of you might have seen on Sammy's stream, Sammy has been working on getting the 2 spawners set up that you might remember from last time. So here we now have the zombie spawner covered in tinted glass. Over there we have the skeleton spawner. And the zombie spawner, along with Sammy's entrance, which is here somewhere, I can't remember exactly where, but Sammy's entrance is here somewhere. I think maybe it's behind here actually. Yeah, here you have it. So what I want to do, I want to try and connect Sammy's entrance to my entrance with a bridge going across here, and then I want to start building this sort of living quarter section over here that we are going to be sharing. And that means trying to not only make the area look good, but also try to make it blend together in a sensible way. And I'm thinking what would be quite fun would be to build a hole in the ground. What would be quite fun would be to build a bridge going from, or a path or something or other, that goes from Sammy's entrance over there and straight over to the living quarters past my entrance. And as Sammy has hilariously pointed out, she has built a safe entrance and I have not. Because I too like to live dangerously. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what we're going to be doing today. I don't think there's any need for me to over-explain this. So why don't we cut to your regular old schedule programming, a time-lapse. Well, alrighty then. That is a lot of work taken care of. So as you saw in that little time lapse, we ended up doing mostly terraforming actually. But if we now jump down this well, you will see that it has changed a lot down here. So first of all, the well has been spruced up a good bit, made to look better. We have shroom lights growing up there for some light. And as you can probably tell, we have flattened and cleared a good space in here where we are going to start putting our things. So if we go back a little bit, you will see that we went with some acacia logs for supports. So it now looks like they are sort of supporting this little cave of sorts here. And the thing is, we really want this, as I've said before, we want this sort of to look like a lush cave where some old mining operation settled at some point. So the plan is for these three areas to sort of function as three things. So over here, we're going to have a basic sort of storage system. It's not going to be redstone. It's not going to be fancy. It's just going to be a bunch of chests with signs on them, just so we have a place to put our basic supplies. In the middle here, we're going to be building an automatic super smelter. I haven't really decided what design I'm going to go for, but I do have a couple of ideas. And over here, in the corner here, we're going to be building a combined enchanting and crafting station. So if I'm going to put the enchanting station on this side and the crafting on this side, I haven't really decided yet, but that is what it's going to be. And during the work on that, we actually had Johnny coming over with some bone blocks. So thank you very much, Johnny, for delivering some bone blocks for us. That is really going to be helpful when we start decorating this place. But as you can see, the place looks a lot different from what it did when we started. And we also started working on a little road going across here that will connect us to Sammy's path, which is over there, taking you to the safe entrance and currently the only exit, because right now this is very much a one-way street. But one of the key features that I added that I haven't commented on yet is that we added a waterfall. So you might remember that this was actually a ravine. So this was actually closed before. Well, not closed before, I mean. And what we've done now, we've basically closed it off with some stone and supplies. And we've added a nice little water feature that flows in to make this little pond here. So, yeah, that is sort of... It's a way to sort of make it a little more like me. It's sort of putting a little Phalian touch on the Lush Cave, but this is definitely not something that we're finished with. We're going to be continuing with this project here, but before we can get started on all of these things, I kind of need to make some lists of what supplies we want here. I need to ask Sammy what she thinks. I need to look at some designs and figure out how I want to do the super smelter. And I also need to get some supplies to create another enchanting station, given that I spent most of the obsidian I had for the community enchanting station and for the ender chests. But yeah, that is a lot of work done. It's not nearly finished, and it's probably not going to be finished for a good while because... I mean, let's be fair, this place is huge, but it is a good start, and I'm pretty happy with what we've managed to do so far. And let's be honest, it does kind of look gorgeous. I'm very, very happy with how that waterfall turned out, and the shroom lights and the moss and the mossy cobblestone really helps. So it is really looking good, and I'm very glad I went with acacia logs because they look really good as well. But yeah, that is the terraforming done and sort of the first step of the decoration done. Now let's move on with some of the more practical things that we want to put in this space. Well, okay then, we are back, and as you could probably tell, a lot of work has been done. And yeah, we have basically put in both the enchanting station, we're just missing some bookshelves. We've put in a crafting station with anvil, grindstone, a stone cutter, smithing table, blast furnaces and everything. We've not done the super smelter because that is something that Sammy's going to be doing. So basically we just have 5 furnaces right now. And we've started setting up a basic storage. And we're probably going to extend that storage slightly. So the thing that really remains here now is I haven't made a sort of bedroom. And I haven't really decided where I want to do that. But I was thinking maybe over here. Simply because I feel like right here next to the pond, you have a pretty cool view overlooking everything. So I'm thinking, what if we put a little bedroom over here? But at the same time, this is sort of where we go through to get to the other section of the cave. So I might want to put it elsewhere. But yeah, that is pretty much this section done. The only thing missing, as I said, is some bookshelves, and that's simply because I ran out of sugarcane, and Sammy has been using the sugarcane to trade with villagers, so we haven't really, didn't really have that much, so I'm going to wait for that to regrow. But yeah, we are basically set. And what I've also added, because you might remember that we struggled with having a way back up, so what I've actually added now, behind the enchanting station, is now a hidden bubble vator, and that hidden bubble vator will take us back to the top, where I've used some moss and some bone meal to decorate a little bit. So yeah, we now have the very cozy farmhouse up top with a little farm and the cute little well and the campfire. And once you jump into the well, where the vines are now growing steadily, you get thrown into here and you have a nice little staircase taking you to this area. So we are pretty much set to start living down here. We can enchant our stuff, we can craft, we even have ender chests at the ready. We have a basic sort of storage system. This is just manual storage, nothing fancy, but we are going to be expanding this into something bigger downstairs. And as I said previously, we have these 2 killing chambers here. That is something I'm going to have to work with because we really need to get these connected down below. And the reason for that is that, well, I would love to have the farms ready in time for what's going to be happening this Sunday. Whoops. So this is being recorded Friday, January the 7th. And on Sunday, January the 9th, we are going to be taking on the Ender Dragon. And hopefully, with some luck, we can get both of these farms ready by then. Because it would be really nice to have a source of experience. And also, based on my own preference on how to fight the Ender Dragon, I would love to have the ability, well, not the ability, but I would love to get at least the skeleton farm going so that we can make some better bows. So we're going to have to build a killing chamber down there. You can see I've put a sign down saying where I want it. And we're going to make a basic storage system down there so that we can collect bows, arrows, and that sort of thing, so that we can hopefully get our kit going for the Ender Dragon. And the Ender Dragon kill is going to be, the next episode is going to be episode 6. And yeah. But what I think I'm going to do then, we're going to call it a night in terms of the area behind here, because Sammy is going to be doing the super smelter. Can't wait to show you what Sammy comes up with next. And what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be turning my attention especially to the skeleton farm and see if we can get a basic killing platform going so that we can get some good bows. And just like that, hopefully we are now all set. So we have made a very rudimentary killing chamber with a very rudimentary storage system. And we've also made a very rudimentary entrance. So basically, all that remains for us to do now, which I haven't done yet, is that we need to plug the holes. We're going to get the... Oh, actually, come to think of it, you know what? We haven't put the water in yet. We need to do that. So what we're going to do, we're going to go get the water buckets. Well, that didn't really go to plan, did it? We're going to have to cover all of that now. And there we go. A little bit of tinkering and back and forth. And we should be done. So if we now very carefully try to remove the torches, this should hopefully, if we've done everything correct, now be working. So those torches are going to go down the drain, but that's fine. They're going to end up in the storage system. So what we're going to do, we're going to take that torch, we're going to take that torch, and it works. Oh my god, it works, it works, it works. Most definitely works. Alright. Do you have like depth strider or something? You plonker. What we're going to do then, we're going to see if this actually works the way it should, because if I have set this up correctly, we are now close enough that we are triggering the spawner, but not so that we can get shot. So I guess we had some spawns. Let's just stay here for a second, see if we have more coming down, because that's basically going to be the real test here. Are they actually spawning, or did we go too far down? And based on the lack of sounds, I have a sneaking suspicion we may have gone too far down. So let's go back up here.
A few moments later.
And with some help from Mickness and some retooling and some moving of things, we now have a functioning skeleton farm. It's not the quickest of things, but it works. And as you can see, yeah, we are now getting more of the skeletons falling down. So thank you very much, Mickness, for helping out. This has really saved us here. So we now have skeletons spawning. Turns out I had done some bad math, but now it works. And as you can see, the skeletons are popping down. Just going to murder these last few that fell down here. You know what? I'm going to murder you afterwards. And if we head down here, we now have a little storage. So as you can see, there is a storage at the bottom here that has the arrows and the bones. And we have a bow that's dropped. And it looks like it is working properly. I'm not seeing any of the items stopping. There's the hopper. We're going to put the bones in there as well. We can, yeah, we're not going to bother with it. But yeah, that is pretty much the rudimentary skeleton farm done. We have left the room down here. We haven't done anything with it, but that can just stay. This is, of course, not the permanent thing, but the plan here was an... How did you manage to get me from up there? The plan is really to have a storage system in the middle that covers all of it, but yeah, that is probably not going to be today or in the first few days of it. But let's have a look here, and yeah, the bone count has increased, so it looks like it is indeed working. So if I go up here and right click that hopper, there's nothing stuck in that hopper, which is good. So yeah, that means it is working. It is transporting items down. And with that, we do have a rudimentary skeleton farm that will help us get some experience, get some bows, and fall into the water. Yeah, what we're going to do, just going to put 2 more torches there just to be safe. But yeah, with that taken care of, I am going to be AFKing here for a bit to get some arrows, to get some bows, and to get some levels so we can get our stuff properly enchanted and ready for the dragon fight, which is going to be the next episode. So make sure you catch that one. But for now, that is all I have time for today. Thank you very, very much for watching this episode. If you are a fan of my content, feel free to subscribe, feel free to share the video with a friend. And if you want to get more updates and get maybe some occasional behind the scenes stuff, spoilers here and there is a link to my Discord in the description, along with links to the Shamblecraft Discord if you want to join us on the server. But that's enough advertising for one day. I'm going to call it a night. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you for the dragon fight in the next one. Bye bye!